Welcome back. This tutorial we're going to talk about making a new floor layer. I'm on basically step 13 in your directions, so you should be following along in the directions as well as watching the tutorials. So to make a new floor layer for hardwood, tile, and or carpet, that's what we're doing here. You may or may not have all three of those. I would think that you'd have at least hardwood and tile. If you don't want carpet, that's okay, but you do need at least hardwood and tile. So to do this, if you're following along in the directions, go to the Architecture tab, go to the Floor drop-down, and yours is going to have, I believe, concrete selected here in this drop-down, and that's just fine. You want to change the level to top of floor, so the floor sits on top of the concrete pad. Then we're going to go to the Edit Type button here. Don't worry what this says. Edit Type, and we're going to duplicate this layer. Basically, we're taking everything about this, all the attributes about a floor, and we're duplicating it or copying it. We're copying the profile, and we're renaming it. So we're going to duplicate it and rename it. Either wood or tile, whichever one you want to start with. Oh yeah, I already made one of those. So I'll call it something else. Okay. I guess I had carpet too. Let's see, do I have tile? I think I have tile as well. Oh, I don't. Good. So now we're going to go and we're going to hit Edit. We are going to go under the material, click on that concrete, and then this little gray box will pop up. We're going to click on that. That brings up a new window. In this window, you can see that there are a whole bunch of different materials to choose from, and we will be looking at this in the days moving forward to pick different materials, so get used to this menu that we are in right now. But since I put tile, you'll see that there's wood you can use for your wood. Come all the way down to the bottom and use that, or you can go up here. There is cherry. For carpet, there's carpet here, and the color, don't worry about that. Well, you can try and change the color, but for now it doesn't matter much because I'm going to show you in a couple days how to modify the materials and the colors of everything. So even if you don't like cherry or whatever, you don't like the color of the wood when it's all done, that's okay. We will change those things later. For now, let's just get the floors in and go from there. Tile, 4-inch porcelain is what we're going to use, again, for now. Later on, if you want a different tile that's a bigger square than a 4-inch, fine. I will show you how to do that in a few days or in the next coming tutorials. So I'm going to say OK. Don't worry about this. It's not going to be purple. I don't know why that shows purple. Say OK. Change the thickness to 1 inch. Don't forget that step. Then OK. Apply. OK. Now, I recommend you go to a perfect top view so that you can draw a rectangle or the profile or the boundary in which you want the floors to be in. So if you have a very irregular area, like say this hallway and this room and this room and all this here is a really weird boundary, right? Then you're going to have to trace around it with the line tool. And you would start in one corner, and I would start on the inside of the corner like this. And then you can trace around. Actually, you can go right to this corner. You don't have to go around those walls if that's included. You'll just go right around the boundary that you want that floor to be in. and then back to where you started. And we need to change the height offset here. I should have done that first, to 1 inch. And then we're going to click on that green check mark to finish. And there you can see, if you zoom in, you can see the tile. If I go back to floor again, I could have done, remember, if I have a square or rectangle, it's a little faster to use the rectangle tool and just do that boundary like that. Again, make sure your height offset is 1 inch. Hit the green check mark. I see a lot of people that are moving from tab to tab and they're like, why can't I do anything? Why does my mouse look like this? If you see a green or this teal colored tab, you're in limbo. You didn't finish the operation. So you have to pick one of these two things to end that operation. Now, not sure what happened there. Where did my floor go? There it is. So I messed up the layer somehow. Yeah, I never changed the level. So if you have that happen and you don't see your floor, look underneath. Top of floor where it should be. Thickness, height offset 1 inch. And then it goes to that location. Now, if you want to do a hardwood floor and then a carpet floor, you're going to start that entire process right back over again. So literally starting back at step 1, you're going to go to floor, you're going to go to edit type, duplicate, rename it wood, go to edit, and so on and so forth, and just go right through the process, just like I did to make tile floors. Then apply your tile floors, or your hardwood floors. Then start over again for your carpet. Duplicate, rename it, edit. It's just the same process over and over again. You just have to copy, you have to duplicate every time and rename. So it's the same process repeated to do multiple floor systems. All right. You can see that hardwood shows up kind of like this. Again, don't worry if it's not pretty. We can change it later on. I'll show you how to do that another time. Now that you know how to go in and edit materials, we're going to change the concrete, or we're going to change the building pad to concrete the way it should be. So notice how I hovered over it and it says pad. Make sure it says that, or you could be selecting the topo surface instead, like this. So you kind of have to make sure you get on it right and pick the pad. Then we're going to go to edit type. We're going to go to edit. We're going to go back to material. Click on that little box. And we'll go to concrete. And we're going to choose concrete lightweight. That's fine. And then you'll see how apply. Okay. You'll see how the garage is now a concrete slab like it should be. And the outside looks like concrete the way it should. So now we fixed our pad, and now it's time to do basically windows and doors. So if you go to this window tool, it's going to prompt you with a window that you probably don't want, so you have to select the one you want. If you click on this drop down, there will be windows preloaded in here most likely. But that's only some of the windows that you have to choose from. You might find a double hung or something, but again, it's not. This does not give you all the windows that are in the library that there are to choose from. So rather than doing that, I'm going to hit Escape. I'm going to show you where to find other windows and doors. So you have to make an account with Autodesk. So go to Insert. And then load Autodesk Family. And when this window opens, it's going to prompt you to log in. And most likely you don't have a login yet, so you're going to have to create an account, I should say, with Autodesk. and then you can log in and it'll look like this. So when you get here, this has lots of different things in it. Casework. This is where you're going to find all your cabinets for kitchens, countertops for kitchens, wall cabinets, pantries, okay, and vanities for bathrooms. And you can narrow down your search by clicking on these items. Go back to all results. You will find here that there's going to be doors. Again, you can look in all three of these locations and you will find a bunch of different doors. So don't just look in one spot. If we go back again, I'll tell you that specialty equipment has things like, furniture and whatnot. But remember, we're not doing furniture right now. You should not be inserting furniture in your house right now. We can do that later on if there's time. But this folder has refrigerators and ovens or range and items like that that you'll need for your kitchen. And then, of course, we're going to go down to Windows and find different windows. And here you're going to see, you might find a double hung that you like or whatever the case is. And if you find something you like, I'm just going to pick something here, random, and I'm going to hit load. And then what it does is, you have to go back to window, and then it loads it into this drop-down. And from here, I can see that it's giving me 4 different size options. It depends on the window. They don't all do this, but go to the drop-down and look and see what your size options are. What size works for your house. Then to insert the window, you can do it here in this view, but I don't recommend that. I think you should go to level 1. Go on. And from here, it's a much easier, much better way to insert windows and doors. So now it's much better to see your dimensions and know that you're getting the windows centered between walls or whatever the case is. You're going to want to make sure that you are placing them correctly and that everything is spaced nicely. And you can adjust your spacing later as you go. But and then you just click and drop it in. It's that easy. You do have to flip this. If you move your mouse back and forth, your window and or door will flip. So you need to have the glass on the right side. So you want to pull in this direction towards the outside of the house. And then drop it in. And you can always go back to 3D and see what it looks like. So you'll do the same thing for doors. Remember, if you go to door, there's not going to be much here. So go to Insert again, go to Load Autodesk Family, go to Doors. Now, in the directions, I also talk about an alternative. There are only so many things here. They're not all the nicest, all right? But you want to make sure everything matches. If you have wood windows in one place, you better have wood-trimmed windows everywhere. Some of the windows have white trim. The doors are all different. Like, you got to make sure everything matches. But if you don't see what you like here, you can go to revitcity.com. This is all in the directions. You have to make an account, but anything and everything is in revitcity.com. Landscaping, windows, doors, fireplaces, a vase for your kitchen table, cars, you name it, machinery, it's there. So go to revitcity.com, check it out. You're going to find a lot of great things. But again, you have to make sure everything matches. So that's a big part of this. I don't want to see, different style or different windows, some white, some wood. That won't look nice.